Vigil is planned this evening in honor of a pregnant woman gunned down in North Philadelphia. She was shot while sitting in an SUV. Alicia Reed has a look at new surveillance video that could help police track down that suspect.
A young life cut short by gun violence.
Enough is enough.
Shalia Davis was only 25 years old. Her family says she was smart and had a bright future. 4 months pregnant, she was shot to death in North Philly after visiting relatives.
We have a lot of work to do, but at the end of the day, these young men must put these guns down.
Police say the 25-year-old was not the intended target. Instead, they believe the suspect was after her boyfriend, who fled the Ford Escape and took off running when the shooter approached the SUV and opened fire. Shalia was struck in the head, and after being rushed to Temple University Hospital, she and her unborn baby died 4 hours later.
We need to do everything that's possible to bring these individuals to justice who have pulled the trigger, and most importantly, make sure that the family members who have lost a loved one know that justice is being served.
Police tell us her boyfriend was also in possession of a weapon when he took off. The gunman chased after him, and it isn't clear what the motive behind the shooting was. Councilmember Kenyatta Johnson heads City Council's Special Committee on Gun Violence and has reached out to the public for input on what can be done to curb gun violence in Philadelphia. He also plans to work with law enforcement officials.
We will work hand in hand with the Philadelphia Police Department. We will work hand in hand with the District Attorney's Office to bring this individual to justice.
Tonight's vigil will be held at 7 p.m. at 25th and Berks. That's the scene of the shooting. Now, the family is asking people to bring teddy bears and candles, as well as blue and purple balloons. Now, Shalia is the latest victim of violence in the city. As of last night, police say the total number of homicides is at 227. That's about 30% up from last year. Reporting from police headquarters, Alicia Reed, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
Some people want me to speak on the whole Breonna Taylor situation and all these protests and, people all in their feelings. And I've already spoken on it. I already said that the Breonna Taylor situation didn't seem right to me, in terms of, it being, without question, that the police were, absolutely in the wrong. Now, people have been talking about them, getting caught in lies, and yes, that definitely does bring their credibility into question. But it's just like what I said about the Kyle Rittenhouse situation. I said that was a situation of self-defense. Self-defense can shift. Just because he was, in unlawful possession of a firearm doesn't mean that you give up your right to self-defense. I'm saying Mr. Grosskreutz, who was the guy that got his bicep blown off when Kyle Rittenhouse shot him, he was a felon and he had a gun. So if people want to talk about, who shouldn't have been there, or who shouldn't have been out there, I mean, hell, there was a city curfew, right? Technically speaking, nobody should have been out there. But people want to play politics. They want to get into the mindset of people and, oh, you believe this or you align with that side. And so therefore, what you did is this, that, and the third. Hate saying it, but that's female thinking, in my opinion. A lot of women do that when you argue with women. They're like, they paint this character model of you, and then that's how they formulate their arguments, and then it's no longer an intellectual conversation. It's literally, no matter what, I'm going to pick sides, and this is the side that I'm on, and no matter what the facts are, I've already chosen my side, right? You see this with the white people that scream Blue Lives Matter and can't be objective when it comes to hold on a second, I hate when people disturbing me. When it comes to anything that goes down with police, you'll just see, people jump up and pick sides. Trying to think, where else you'll see people, they'll jump up and do that. You'll see that in the gender war. People just jump up and pick sides, no matter what the facts are. And like, for me, I exit the conversation when that starts happening, because it's no longer an intellectual conversation. It's like you see what you want to see. It's like, how even some of the women tried to make the Breonna Taylor situation a gender thing and talk about, Ahmaud Arbery, and, how there was a whole bunch of defending and caping for Ahmaud Arbery versus the Breonna Taylor situation. And these two situations can't even be compared. Ahmaud Arbery did not involve the police. Ahmaud Arbery's killing involved a bunch of white vigilantes, not law enforcement. Breonna Taylor's situation involved law enforcement. So right off top, it's apples to oranges. But looking at the whole situation, there's two reasons why Breonna Taylor got shot. And I'm not saying that she deserved to get shot, right? Because nobody else got shot that night. Another factor that everybody ignores when they want to be like, Breonna Taylor was murdered and she was specifically targeted. How come nobody else got shot that night? Oh, could it possibly be because Breonna Taylor, out of all the people that got their houses raided that night, which I believe it was anywhere from 4 to 5, Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, shot at police, and the police returned fire. Now, I don't even get all excited about people. Oh, well, the other guy, and he shot neighbors' apartments and everything. Yeah, okay, he was negligent. Doesn't have anything to do with police officers returning fire. Now, the other thing that people want to, overlook, I don't know what the details are about Breonna Taylor and Jamarcus Glover, but it has already been confirmed by Breonna Taylor's sister that there was a period of time that she was dating Jamarcus Glover. Now, I don't know how many times it has to be said. I don't know how many other examples there have to be, because there's plenty of examples where it doesn't even involve the police and the girlfriend or the baby mama gets killed because the savages come out and they're looking for the boyfriend, and they find the girlfriend and they unload on the girlfriend, or unload on grandma's house, or unload on your mama's house. I mean, you hear this all the time in rap lyrics and everything. If we can't find you, we coming for your people. I mean that is classic, street tactic. We can't find you, we coming for your people, and we gonna shoot up your mama's house and your grandmama's house and everybody else, your cousin, whoever else, until you come out of hiding, nigga. Cause we gonna get you. Right? That's very common. So when I see women out here dealing with drug dealers, and I'm like, if a situation like the cops get into Breonna Taylor and this whole, clusterfuck of events, this perfect storm of events that came together that created this tragedy, then it could have very well been, Jamarcus Glover's rivals. I mean, hell, Kenneth Walker had that gun and shot at the door because, it's like, okay, chick, you out here dating, street dudes and everything else. We all know how they get down. And, he over Breonna Taylor's apartment and he protected himself. He don't know who at that door. It could be a jealous ex-boyfriend. It could be a jealous Jamarcus Glover. You know what I mean? The messing, fucking drug dealers, girlfriends or ex-girlfriends, depending on how they feel. She could be like, oh, I'm done with him. But that nigga's still running around talking about, she's mine. You know what I mean? Like, in either event, you dealing with criminals that are risking life and limb every day, hustling, don't give a shit about whether they kill somebody, and you messing with a woman they used to mess with, and you don't know exactly how they feel about that situation. Like as though they're upstanding citizens, they're gonna walk up and shake your hand, you know what I'm saying? Well, brother, I'm glad that you're taking care of Breonna because she was a great woman, but things just didn't work out, so carry on. Like, no, that's not how the shit goes down. I don't know what people don't get about that. Had Breonna Taylor not been fucking with Jamarcus Glover, she might still be alive. Had Breonna Taylor not been dealing with Kenneth Walker, and Kenneth Walker not had a gun that night, Breonna Taylor might still be alive. The crazy part is, like, I still can't wrap my head around how the person who shoots the gun doesn't get hit, but the person that doesn't have a gun gets hit and gets hit multiple times. Like that's the crazy part. Like, what, did Kenneth shoot from behind Breonna Taylor? Like, I'm trying to figure out how that went down. That's the part that really I have a big question with. But people talking about all the stuff that the township did, shady this, shady that, and I'm like, that's what people should be more focused on. They should be focused on whatever the institutional shit that you thought went down that culminated to this event that ultimately led to Breonna Taylor's death. That's where you need to focus all your prosecution energy. But on specifically targeting those police officers who went over there, that night, I'm like, I already knew that nobody was going to win. You're not going to be able to prove malice intent on a situation like that. Breonna Taylor was murdered. She was specifically told. How come nobody else got murdered? How come the main target of the investigation, Jamarcus Glover, how come he didn't get shot? Maybe because when they went over there was no gunfire coming from wherever they got Jamarcus Glover, or Adrian Walker, who was the other Walker, not related to Kenneth Walker, who was also, in the drug game, who was basically Jamarcus Glover's right-hand man. I mean, this is the possibility of shit happening like this. I mean, plain and simple. It's fucked up. This is the possibility of happening like this. It's a tragedy. It's fucked up. But people out here talking about, no justice, no peace. We want justice. And I'm like, again, like, it's not even being attacked from the right angle. All that stuff about them doing land grabs and property grabs and, all that eminent domain bullshit. That's where I think, the justice argument is. I mean, there was a settlement, $12 million to the family, and I mean, with that being said, I'm like, oh, I already knew there wasn't going to be, the type of justice that people were looking for, which is, it doesn't even really seem like, I don't even feel like justice is the word for these people, because it's like they're looking for something more symbolic. They're not really looking for justice. They're looking for something symbolic. And that's the sense that I get from a lot of these people out here that are rallying and marching about Breonna Taylor and all this other stuff. And a lot of the people, I highly doubt, know much of the details. Now, some people are saying shit is fabricated. Other people saying it's not. I don't know what is fabricated or what isn't fabricated. All I know is Breonna Taylor was dating a drug dealer, which is already going to put her in harm's way, whether it's from other Pookies or whether it's from some sort of shootout with police. And then you have the second situation where Adrian Walker, as much as I'm a Second Amendment advocate, I'm like, okay, Adrian Walker, he had his firearm and justifiably, shot at the door. If they didn't announce themselves and, it's late at night, like, and you banging at the door, who the fuck is you? I don't know who it is. I don't know who's on the other side of that door. So I'm saying, like, all of that. I don't blame Adrian Walker. Again, like I said, the whole situation is one big fat clusterfuck. But the idea that you're going to be able to point a finger and hit the bullseye and say, you did this and we got the right person and this is justice. I'm like, I already knew that nobody was going to get that. Hence the $12 million settlement. Sorry, whatever, bad policing, however you want to break it down, even with the, because the sister, she was up on the news talking about how, her sister hadn't been with Jamarcus for months. Okay, fine. The police officers were using stale intel. But, I mean, anytime you're the girlfriend of the villain or the girlfriend of the criminal, that puts you in harm's way. I don't know what it is the sisters don't get about this part. This is the part that frustrates me. This is the part where the women are jumping up and down and talking, oh, you don't care, and black women are not cherished, and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, you're out here, you got all these homicides going on, which is gang-related and drug-related in the black community right now. Okay, you got teenagers getting their heads blown off. We got a 16-year-old that was killed, or one was shot in the head. Then there was another situation in Philadelphia, a kid got killed in the laundromat. You know, and it's like, this is what's going on. This is the life of drug dealing. This is the life of gangs and being in the streets. And I don't understand how women can think that they can be connected to that and somehow come out unscathed and untouched when there's just nothing but a pile of black male bodies all over the place that are affiliated with the shit. You know, they got a video of a dude in Philadelphia shot this brother 12 times. You know what I mean? He just standing out there. I don't know what's up with niggas and y'all just be outside, just standing around on the corners and shit, and just standing around. And I'm like, and you involved in some shit, and anybody can just roll up. But I mean, this dude emptied the clip on the dude, because there's a ring right in front of the house. And I mean, he just sitting there, bat, not even holding the gun right. It looked like he damn near limp wristing the damn gun. The gun's just rocking. You know what I mean? Like, it's just rocking back and forth because he doesn't have, proper grip. So, I mean, I doubt that, most of the bullets even hit their target, even though they're saying that he got hit 12 times. So I guess that would be most of the bullets, in the magazine. All it said is shot at a dozen times. I don't know whether that meant he was hit a dozen times. But I'm just saying, like, it's like, this is what's out here. This is what is going on, with this type of shit. And I'm saying, most of the times that's who you're more likely to get killed by, not the police. You're most likely to get killed by rival gang members, rival drug dealers, you know what I'm saying? Jealous drug dealers, motherfuckers you driving by and they standing on the corner, you know what I'm saying? I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. About to drop a dime on them niggas. I don't like that shit. I had to explain what dropping a dime means to somebody. Talk about getting fucking old. I mean, goddamn. They were like, what does dropping a dime mean? I was like, payphones. Payphone. I was like, shit, they don't even have payphones anymore. I was like, fuck, I'm old. I was like, what is dropping a dime means? It means you freaking, again, they don't understand that. A payphone, an actual physical payphone, like meaning like you put money in the phone to use it. Like think about that. You got a whole generation that has never even seen a payphone. Doesn't even seen a payphone. Don't even know what the fuck I don't even know if they have collect calls anymore. They still got collect calls. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't, like I'm just saying. I had to explain this shit. They were like, oh, I heard that before. I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. So, that gets around and, gets put in songs and PD Pablo and shit like that. But, in terms of understanding like what dropping a dime is, I was like, wow, like they don't even know what that is. That's crazy. But, what was I going to say? The whole thing is a tragedy. The family got this settlement. I don't think that makes up for, Breonna Taylor's, death, but it's something. But, all these people out here that are just, foaming at the mouth. I'm like, there's too many things. There's way too many things, in this situation. Like I said, I don't know what the story is. I don't know what's fabricated, what's not fabricated. I don't know what the hell is going on. People saying Breonna Taylor rented a car, and then the whole investigation was kicked off because somebody else was murdered, and the rental car that the person was murdered in was a car that was registered to Breonna Taylor, but and that's how she got brought into the investigation on top of dating Jamarcus Glover. I don't know. All I'm saying is people are like, she wasn't involved at all. I'm like, bullshit. They did not pick this woman's name out of a damn hat. Now, I don't know what extent, whether she was holding money or, again, people talking about the transcripts, whether they're fake, from the jail. Because you know how niggas like to do. You know what I mean? Like that first 48 and shit. What do? What they always do? They get on there and just start talking. just start running their mouth from the jail. It reminds me of Belly when DMX was in Jamaica and he took out freaking what was it, Onyx or whatever, and then came back and he came to the house and the feds were at the house. Why were the feds at the house? Because Keisha called the spot from jail. And what did he say? I told you not to call the motherfucking spot. Yeah, because the feds gonna be all over it. She leaving answers on the message machine talking about, Tommy, come get me. And she in jail. She got locked up. Yes, because, of shit that Tommy was doing. But I'm like, chick, you was over there laced in Christian Dior and everything else. And you was dating a drug dealer. This kind of comes with the territory. I'm so tired of people not recognizing what comes with the territory and bitching. It's just like these cops they'll be up talking about, or even the people that are pro-cop and support cops, they'll be up there talking about, officers getting shot at. Like, motherfucker, that's what comes with the territory. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when I was a bouncer, you have bitch-ass bouncers that would be, like, upset because somebody threw a punch. Motherfucker, you a bouncer. It's what comes with the territory. That's what comes with the shit. You a bouncer, and that's what comes with the territory. You see what I'm saying? So you get these people, they bitching about shit, that's what you signed up for. That it's not put you in this position. You signed up for it. It's like motherfuckers go off to war in Iraq and shit. We gonna be a soldier and you bitching about getting shot at? Is what you signed up for. You wanted to be a Navy SEAL? Well, Navy SEALs get shot at. It's what you signed up for. You know what I'm saying? I mean, damn. You out there with Ghost and Soap and Captain Price and shit. Like, what you think is gonna happen, nigga? Shit, if I'm standing next to those three individuals, I would know that shit is about to go down and chances of me getting shot are very, very likely. I get so tired. I get so tired of people bitching about, situations that are completely avoidable. Completely avoidable. This is not the same as a situation where, it's just some innocent, black woman walking around and minding her business and out of nowhere she gets shot at. That's what people are trying to make it be. And I'm like, nah, there's a whole involvement of, what the objective of the police were and the people, that were involved. And like I said, even Breonna Taylor's sisters confirmed that she was dating Jamarcus for a period of time going all the way back to January. So, whatever. It's unfortunate. That's all I can say about it. But all this stuff that people are out there tearing up the streets and jumping up and down, I'm like, y'all not making a whole bunch of sense. You know what I'm saying? People don't know how to pick their battles. The same thing I said about, Marissa Alexander and people jumping up and down, screaming injustice and stand your ground is this, that, and the third. And I'm like, Marissa Alexander is not a good example. Marissa Alexander left the house, went to her vehicle, retrieved the firearm, went back into the house, and shot the firearm at her ex-husband's head. That is not self-defense. That could not even remotely possibly be compared to the whole situation with George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin. But people were trying to make this sort of connection. And a lot of you all emotionally let the media, dupe you into shit without the facts. You know what I'm saying? Without even attempting to look up the facts. You know what I'm saying? I remember when Black Authority made that video. And it was a kick-ass. It was either Black Authority or Black Truth Professor. But they made a kick-ass video, talking about why that was not a stand your ground case. But yet, and still, the media ran with it. A lot of the woke black community ran with it. And then you, in the end, you end up looking like an asshole because you didn't pick your battles. But anyway, I'm about to go work out. That's my video. That's WP out.